Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing pretty good today. Thank you again for joining in. Everybody could go ahead and join me on their chairs. Those of you who are new, just quickly want to describe two terms that you're going to hear me using during the class here. One is a hollow. These two positions are referring to the orientation of our spine and our pelvis, so our posture. Whenever I tell you to hollow, what I want you to do is I want you to think about squeezing your glutes, and your pelvis is posteriorly tilting, it's tilting backwards, and squeezing the abdomen, which is going to pull your sternum down toward your pelvis, and your pelvis a little bit up towards your sternum. And you're going to round, that back is going to be nice and rounded. When I want you to arch, your pelvis is going to tilt forward, and you're going to feel your shoulders draw back and down, and that back is not just going to go nice and straight, it's actually going to curve the other way. This is what you would refer to as an arch, okay? Ideally in this class, we're going to find a nice balance of the two. Just so, if everybody can join me at the front of their chairs, seated down, sitting upright with their hands on top of their knees and their feet shoulder width apart. Taking a deep breath in and exhale nice and easy. And as you start to exhale, I want you to think about squeezing those stomach muscles and watching or feeling the air getting pushed out of your stomach. Squeezing the glutes. You should notice your back is starting to round a little bit, okay? Relax. Take a deep breath in. Let your stomach fill up with air. Exhale, and as you exhale, exhale by squeezing those stomach muscles, pushing that air out, squeezing the glutes. Now keep squeezing your stomach, keep squeezing your glutes, but continue to breathe. Okay, now, palms of your hands are just on top of your knees. Still squeezing your glutes, still squeezing the abdomen, and we're breathing. Definitely one thing we want to make sure that we do in this class is we don't hold our breath. We want to make sure we're breathing. So trying to get used to keeping those stomach muscles contracted can be difficult without holding your breath. But at the end of the day, I would rather you make sure you're definitely breathing, okay? And if holding the contractions get difficult, I promise the more that you do this, the easier that will get. And even as I'm talking right now, I'm still keeping my stomach nice and contracted. And now, using the palms of our hands and keeping our arms straight, we're going to push down on top of the knee. What's going to happen here is if I'm squeezing the stomach hard enough, my chest isn't going to start to tilt upwards. It might start to tilt straight ahead of me, but it's not going to lift up too high. What's going to happen is my stomach muscles are going to be nice, contracted, and it's going to keep my sternum down just a little bit. And instead, my shoulders are going to roll back and down because you're pushing the palms of your hands on top of the knees. That's going to engage those back muscles here. What should happen right now is if we're still holding all those contractions, still squeezing your glutes, still squeezing the stomach muscles, and pushing down with the palms of your hands, your back should be nice and neutral. You should have a nice neutral spot. And we're just breathing. And relaxing. Okay. Everybody relax for a second. Let's do that again. Let's go through squeezing the stomach, Squeezing those glutes, pushing through the palms of the hands. And breathing. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start to tilt back in our chair, and our hands are going to slide up the thigh. Just before your weight leaves your feet, as you feel it shifting more in your hips, you're going to pause. You should feel your stomach muscles having to engage right now in order to keep you from leaning back. Remember, we're sitting at the very front of our chair, so if you feel like you don't have a lot of room, try to scoot a little bit further out. Ideally, even in this position, your back isn't touching. Ideally. In breathing. Exhaling. Pushing down with the palms of our hands. Doing very good. We're going to slide back up. Hands sliding just on top of the knee. Still pushing down with our hands, still squeezing those abdominal muscles. Even squeezing the glutes a little bit here. Shoulders should still stay down and back. You should really be having to fight. Now, everything we do in here, this is always effort dependent. The more effort you put into this, the more you're going to get out. And the more you do the class, the more you're going to feel like you're going to be able to put into it. Coming back again. Pausing just before the weight completely leaves your feet. Breathing, letting those abdominal muscles do the work. Now we're going to rotate. So I'm going to rotate towards my right. Right hand's going to shift down the thigh. Left hand's going to come up the thigh as I turn the chest. Now notice I'm still leaning back. This is difficult, and it might be even more difficult to breathe in this position. But still keep breathing. If you're having a lot of difficulty breathing, try to sit up a little bit more if you need to, but stay rotated to the side, okay? Now, even in this position, I am still pushing down the palms of my hands into the thigh. And breathing. And now we're going to rotate towards the other side. The hands shift positions on the thigh. I'm still leaned back. And breathing. And we're going to center up and lean forward. Or come right back to an upright position. Yeah, not too bad, huh? No, of course not. Not too bad at all. Alrighty. Now let's do that one more time. This time we're going to hang in that position a little longer. Let's get set up. Hands on top of the knees. Squeezing the stomach muscles, squeezing those glutes, pushing down through the palms of your hands. Leaning back in the chair. And holding. Let's rotate towards the left. Left arm, left hand comes up the thigh, right pushes down further. Still pushing down the palms of my hand. We're going to rotate over towards the other side. And breathe. Breathe. Rotating towards the other side, back towards the left. And breathing. Remember, your back should not be arched right now. We should still be keeping a nice neutral spine, even in this position. Rotating back to the other side. And then coming back nice and level. And then coming forward. Very good. Shake it out just a little bit. There we go. Alrighty. Now, one last time. Squeezing the stomach, squeezing those glutes, pushing down with the hands. Coming back, just far enough. Now we're not going to turn or anything here, okay? We're not going to turn. We're just going to stay in this position. I'm going to hold. Now, very difficult. We're just going to extend one leg out. Let's extend that left leg. Bring it down. Switch to the other. Bring it down, and let's come right back up. Woo! Feel that. Hopefully we're feeling this not just in our core, but we're really feeling our shoulders. The back, upper part of the shoulders, supporting that back. That's what's important about engaging those lats and some of those intramuscular components of the shoulder girdle, because they still influence your posture. Alrighty. Now, in this position, while we're seated, what we're going to do here is I'm going to stay in this contracted with my abdomen, my glutes, and even palms of my hands. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try to pick up my left knee just a little bit. My foot is barely off the ground. I don't know if you can see that. My foot is barely off the ground. Pushing down. I'm going to switch. I'm still pushing on that knee. You should feel when the knee comes up, you should feel even some of those obliques on that side light up a little bit more. Switch. Breathe. Switch one more time. Still pushing down with both hands, still lean back. Good job. Go ahead and stand up. Shake it out a little bit. Walk around if you need to. Pretty good? All right. Now, let's go ahead and let's grab our PVC and let's take a seat again here, okay? We're going to grab our PVC. Hands are on the outside, okay? PVC is across my lap at the very end, just before the knee. Like so. All right. What we're gonna do is we're gonna squeeze those abdomen, those abdominal muscles, squeeze the glutes, and now we're gonna push down with the PVC on top of the thigh, or at the very bottom of the thigh here, just in front of the knee. Okay, you should really feel those lats, those lat muscles, those muscles on the side of your back, really kicking on. The harder you push down with this, the more activation you're going to get, the more you're going to get out of it. But the harder you push down, the more you're going to have to contract with the abdomen to keep the chest from coming up. So It's adding intensity throughout. Now, very slowly, we're going to pull just the PVC up to mid-thigh, bending my elbows, of course. Then I'm going to pause, and I'm still trying to push, still pushing down on the PVC. You'll notice that when you push down, your elbows kind of come in a little bit. Now we're going to start to lean back, and I want you to lean back as far as you need to until your arms are straight again. Once your arms are straight, you're just going to pause and breathe. Now we're going to push forward, sliding the PVC up the thigh. Still keep squeezing the PVC, still keep pushing it on top of your thigh. Breathe, breathe, breathe. You're very good. You're very good. And breathe. And breathe. Pull the PVC back to mid-thigh. Leaning back. Breathing. You're very good. And breathing. Coming forward. Ooh. And relax. Good job. Ooh. I know we can feel that, right? So for those of us who want to join me, go ahead and you can stand up here. Kind of shake it out just a little bit. You need to do a walk off, you can do a little walk off here. All right, so we're going to work a little bit more today on some rotation in our thoracic cavity, in our thoracic spine, focusing on keeping that lower back nice and straight here. So what we want to do, because of the position that we're going to do this little mobility exercise out of, is going to take place, requiring a little bit of shoulder work here. We're going to make sure our shoulders are nice and warmed up, okay? So from here, with the PVC, we're going to hold it up either in front of our clavicle, touching the collarbone, trying to keep our forearms vertical. Okay? Now what's going to happen, pay very close attention here. Everyone's going to hold this, everyone's going to do this position here. We're going to push the PVC side to side. Now, that is not the same thing as just pushing it out like this. You see how my elbow moved out to the side? This elbow right here? That's not what I want us to do. I want you to think about keeping both elbows squeezed in towards your ribs. And as you're squeezing both elbows in towards your ribs, you're going to take one hand and push the other out. What it's going to do is it's going to force the arm to rotate. It's going to externally rotate. Like you're saying hi, except not just with your hand, but saying hi with like your elbow down. And you're going to be externally rotating this arm. Now, when I do this, where I'm squeezing the elbows in, I'm going to push this guy out to the side. Take notice that it's not moving forward or back. So I'm going to do this movement right here. It's staying in contact with my clavicle. I'm just going to push it out to the side a little and relax. I'm going to push it out to the side, hold it for 2 seconds, 1, 2, and relax. Push it out to the side, 1, 2, and relax. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to let you see that even from the side, I'm going to push out to the side. 1, 2, and relax. Pushing it out to the side, same arm. 1, 2, and relax. Pushing it out again. 1, 2, and relax. Notice that it didn't come forward at all. I'm still keeping my forearms vertical, okay? Now, let's do the other side. Pushing out to the other side. You should notice that when you do push it out, that you're having to contract your shoulder blades together. Relax. Push it out. Your shoulder blades should be squeezing a little bit together. That's good. Now, what we want to make sure that we're not doing is we don't want to arch our back when we're doing this, okay? So how can we prevent our back from arching? Well, that's simple. Let's do a little hollow. Do the opposite. So spread those feet out shoulder width apart. Squeeze those glutes. Squeeze the abdomen. Bring the PVC back up to your clavicle. Make sure your forearms start and stay vertical. And let's push it out to the side. Let's go out to the left. Pushing it out. Squeezing those elbows in even as we're going here. Relax. Pushing out to the side. Relax. Pushing it out to the side. Relax. One more. Pushing it out to the side. And relax. Go to the other side. Relax. Out. Relax. Pushing out to the side. And relax. Good job. Woo. Not too bad, right? No, not too bad at all. Okay. Now, very easily, without feeling the need to move too much here, we're going to squeeze our glutes, squeeze the abdomen. We're going to focus a little bit on some internal rotation here. Okay? That's not something you're going to see us do, but so often. What I want you to try to do is just remove your fingers from the dowel, like I am doing. Just let my fingers off the dowel, holding it with just the thumb and the top portion of the palm. Okay? What I want you to do is I want you to squeeze in the PVC towards the thigh, and I want you to reach your thumb back behind you like this. Okay, so your fingers aren't touching, your thumbs point back now. The PVC is caught and stuck between the front of your thigh and this part of the front of your hand, so that shouldn't fall on the ground. Okay, if you are seated, that is the same thing as staying here, letting it be at the top of your knee. Fingers are off, thumbs are pointed down towards the floor. Okay. In order for your thumbs to even point down, it's going to force your arm to internally rotate. It's good. That's what we're trying to do. So if you're right here, standing up is more difficult to do, I will admit. But you can, of course, squeeze harder and you can increase that difficulty. And we're just holding. Squeezing. Contracting the glutes, contracting the abdomen, reaching those thumbs back, just like this. So you might notice, go ahead and relax, you might notice when you do that exercise that the majority of the force being pushed through the palm of your hand is actually happening at the bottom of the middle and index finger. So it's kind of just like on the front part of that palm, at the top of the palm, at the top of the palm of that hand on both sides, because you're reaching back with your thumbs. You might not feel that much on the other side of your hand. That's okay. In fact, that means your arm is internally rotating. That's what we want. We always emphasize a lot of external rotation here, but we want to make sure that we hit both sides of our coin. Go ahead and relax. Now, we're going to do the opposite, but in the same position here, okay? Whether you're seated or whether you're standing. Now I want you to grasp the PVC with all your fingers. Thumbs are wrapped around. We're going to bring it up. Now this time we're going to try to break the bar. So it's as if I was trying to, now we're going to externally rotate our hands. What's going to happen is our hands aren't actually going to move. Our elbows are going to rotate in, and the upper arm externally rotates. You should also notice that your shoulders should kind of retract a little bit, i.e. you'll feel your shoulders, those muscles in between your shoulders squeeze, and those shoulders will come together. And ideally, we're also keeping them down, not shrugged. We want to keep them down. Okay? Spread those feet out to shoulder width apart. Make sure we're going to squeeze those abdominal muscles, squeezing those glutes, trying to bend the PVC. Okay? Now, while you're holding this position here, and of course, while I'm sure you're still breathing, we're not going to rotate our torso. But I'm going to push this bar out to the side just like this, even as I'm externally rotating my arm, still trying to bend it. Just in the same way like I was doing this. My arms are going to stay straight, and one arm is just going to push the PVC over towards the other. You might notice a stretch in a part of the upper arm of that guy, or in the top or back portion of the shoulder. That's okay, we're still externally rotated. So what's happening here is I'm holding it out in front of me, and I'm just going to push it this way, but I'm not going to rotate my body. I'm just basically doing this, except at the level of my shoulders. Okay, now let's bring it back over towards the other side. Now I'm still trying to break the bar. There you go. Notice I'm not turning my torso is staying straight. And breathing. Doing very good. And breathing. You're very good. You got it. Switching back over to the other side. And relax. Woo. That might feel a little weird. Remember, if there's anything painful, don't worry about it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't force yourself to do it. All right. Shake those arms out just a little bit here. All right. Now, you can, if you want to at this point, you can have the bar out in front, the PVC out in front, touching. Remember, if it's in front, it needs to be touching your collarbone, or you can have it behind you. But if it's behind you, don't think of it as behind the neck. It's on top of the back side of our shoulders, okay? That's where it really is. It's on that meaty part back here. Now, whether you're in front or whether you're behind, what we're going to do is we're always still going to try to keep our elbows vertical. That's right, just like that. You got it. Feet are shoulder width apart. We're going to squeeze those glutes, squeeze the abdomen, push those elbows forward just a little bit. Relax the elbows. Keep everything else contracted. Push the elbows forward again. And relax. Push the elbows forward again. And relax. Ooh, we're doing very good. Man, feel that. Push the elbows forward again. Now keeping both elbows forward and the stomach muscles tight, we're going to rotate over towards the right. Rotating over towards the left. Remember, my pelvis is not turning. You can keep your pelvis from turning by keeping the glutes nice and squeezed. That'll help keep it in place. Coming back towards the right. Back to the other side, last time. Facing forward. Bring the PVC down, shake your arms out a little bit if you need to. Woo! All right, get ready, here we go. It's coming back up. Squeezing the glutes, squeezing the abdomen. Okay. Now we're going to push elbows forward just a little, not too much. Okay. Make sure again that our pelvis isn't moving or anything like that. We're just going to bend at our natural waistline, tilting down towards the side. And breathe. And breathe. Doing very good. Tilting towards the other side. And holding. And now we're going to rotate or tilt back towards the left. And then again to the right. Squared up. Push your both elbows forward. Doing very good. Keep pushing those elbows forward. Now we're going to bend both knees slightly, hinge forward. Let me make sure we're at the side here. I'm at the side so you can see what's going on. Going no further than my back being 45 degrees. Clearly with my head above the level of my heart. Now, notice that my back isn't overly arched. I still am engaging those stomach muscles. It is difficult to engage the glutes. That's okay, don't worry. What we are going to do is we're going to keep those elbows forward. And then we're going to rotate towards the left. My chest is going to open up towards the left as I'm staying forward. You can do this in your chair. All you're doing in your chair is you're just tilted forward in your chair, okay? Same concept. Rotating to the other side. Back to the middle, coming back up, and relax. Woo! All right, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab a chair to use as we stand up. Now, if you are seated, what I want you to do is either, if you're in the fitness room or the group X room, scoot your chair over towards the rail, or ideally use the back of the chair that potentially is empty and that might be in front of you. If you're at home, scoot your chair towards some elevated surface that's at least shoulder height or so. What we're going to do here, those of us standing, those of you seated, all you have to do is bend forward, but those of us standing, we got to back our feet up a little way, okay? We're going to hang the top of the bottom part of the palm of our hand, just over the edge on the inside of that chair. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my shoulders down. And in this position here, we're going to do a little hollow, okay? So we're going to squeeze those glutes, squeeze the abdomen, and hold. Doing good. And just breathe. Got it. Doing good. Now, relax for a second. With the arms, you're just going to squeeze down and put pressure on the chair, okay? And I want you to arch your back now. Like that. And squeeze, your head should lift up, your chest should lift up, and you should be pushing down through the palms of your hands on top of the back of that chair. Just on top of the back part of that seat. You should feel those shoulder blades. Squeeze back and down a little bit. Your stomach will be nice and relaxed. That rarely happens in this class. You rarely ever hear me tell your stomach muscles to relax, but in this position, when we're arching, your stomach is relaxed. For those of you who do sit in a chair for a long period of time, this is a very, very good one here. Very, very good. You should feel all those back muscles working. And we're going to relax, sit up, shake it out. Ooh, shoulders should feel pretty good now. All of a sudden. Now, we're going to grab our yoga strap. With our yoga strap here, we're going to wrap it around our back. This may be difficult if you're seated, so definitely scoot to the front of your chair. What you're going to do, you're going to use the little slots that are in the riddled all along the yoga strap. And the back, or the band, or the strap should be just at the part of my lower back where it seems to dip in the most. Okay? It's probably around like L2, L3 or something like that. Okay? Now, I want us to make sure that we have enough slack in here, but not too much slack, that we're able to spread our arms out, but that they're not so wide, no wider than this, okay? All right? Now, you should be reaching out nice and wide. Okay? Not bad, right? Nah, not bad at all. All right, and from here, we're gonna do a little hollow. And when we hollow, squeezing the glutes, squeezing the abdomen, I want you to keep your arms nice and wide, like you're trying to give someone a big hug almost. Okay? Keeping your arms straight as best you can. You're gonna bring your hands out, but I'm reaching as far forward as I can. What you should notice is that the band will be pulling on the lower back, but you're still gonna arch. You're still gonna hollow. You're still gonna squeeze those stomach muscles. Nice and easy. Okay? And relax. Bring it out nice and wide. And now, bring your arms out in front of you. just like so. And this time, we're going to do a little arch practice here. So we're going to slightly bend. For those of you who are in your seat or your chair, your hands are out in front of you and you're just bent over a little bit, okay? Remember, I got to keep tension on the band, so arms are extended out. Now, I'm going to bend over forward more, but as I do, I want to try to lift my arms up and forward as best I can. Notice that your arms won't really move at all. That's okay. I want you to really arch your back, squeeze those shoulder blades back and down. Thumbs should be pointed up towards the ceiling. Your arms are out, not all the way out to the side. They're a little bit out in front of you. Just like this. I'm bent over forward. I'm just kind of like reaching. Almost like I'm trying to reach forward and up. Like that, except your arm can't go but so far. Okay? You should feel your shoulder girdle and those muscles in between the shoulder blades lighting up here. Okay? Arching that back. Feeling good activation. We're going to bring ourselves standing now, where I'm still arched, okay? I'm going to tilt over again, keeping my back nice and arched, still reaching forward with my arms. Holding. Coming back up. Tilting forward again. And relax. Whew. Shake it out. Ooh, not too bad, huh? No, not too bad at all. We're going to put that band away. This time, we're going to give our PVC up. Just one time around here, okay? PVC is at the bottom of our sternum where the ribs start to split, squeezing our glutes, squeezing the abdomen. Feet are shoulder width apart. We're going to just rotate just a little. Rotating. Notice that when you have to pull your elbows back just like this, it already sets your shoulders in place. It's because those lats are engaged. Going back to the other side. Just trying to rotate the upper torso. Trying not to rotate anything else. Rotating, rotating, rotating. Rotating last time to the opposite side. Back to the front. Push out. And relax. Woo-wee. That's right. Woo-wee. Oh. Well, good job. All right, everyone's standing up. We're sitting down. Squeezing your glutes, squeezing the abdomen. Hands are just on front of the thighs. Standing up nice and tall. Pushing those palms of your hands into the top of the thighs. Still squeezing your glutes, squeezing the abdomen. Feeling those shoulders rolling back and down. Breathe. Take a deep breath. And when you exhale, squeeze those stomach muscles even harder as if you're trying to push the air out. Just using the muscles. And relax everything as you're standing nice and tall. Taking a deep breath. Exhaling slowly. Good job, everybody. Well done. Thank you again for joining. I hope you enjoy it this time. I will see y'all next week. Enjoy the rest of your day.